camera from behind the scenes.
We're always having a good time. Yeah. Joking around.
Welcome back to Good Day.
Okay, so we are just a week and a few days from Easter, and many times that means getting the family together for a big meal.
Yes, if you come from a Polish background, yeah, there's always one thing on the table at Easter. That's Placek, or Polish coffee cake. Chef Ella Dudek shows us how to make one this morning.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this because we were just talking, and my thought sheet, we did a lot of Polish foods, but I don't remember the coffee cake.
Really?
And if so, I did not get a recipe.
Well, I'll tell you what, I got the recipe. Wendy put it up for y'all.
Yes.
You could have the recipe, and once you make this, you'll make it for the rest of your life.
Well, I'm hosting Easter.
Perfect.
Yes, so
You're going to learn right now, sister.
Even beyond Easter, though, because you were telling us you can use it for
this
so
is
many events.
This is like a special bread to the Polish heritage. This is for a wedding, for Easter. We had at my wedding reception. We had 36 of them made, and I didn't even taste a piece because it was all gone.
Really?
But oh yeah, when you have a Polish wedding, the food is gone. So when you have something like this, it's a very special thing to the family, and that's the great thing about it is you're passing it down, and now I'm passing it to you.
Yay,
so this is awesome.
This is why I'm the eater, and we figured it out.
We did.
I'm the eater on the show.
Picky eater, plant-based eater. I got it all worked out. So we're
gonna make it. What are we starting with here?
Okay, so here's what we got going on. I got my milk on the stove. Now listen, you don't want to take your milk out of the fridge and add all your stuff. That's not how we do it. We want to go up to 80, between 50 and 80 on this
so we got to get the thermometer in there.
So we're going to go, we're right there, kids.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. You're going to start adding the stuff in. You're going to put the butter in for me. You guys down here are going to grab that microplane, and you're going to start zesting that lemon. Okay. Now, if you see that first lemon there, that first lemon is how you want it to look.
That's what
you don't want to go into the pith. That's the pith. The pith is very, very bitter. Okay. So once you take the first cover off, that's good. You just keep rolling it, my man.
You got it.
Oh, no.
Wrong way. Like
don't use it like that.
Okay, can you teach me?
I'll teach you. So we never want to use the tool.
I'm here to learn.
We want to roll.
Okay.
There you go.
Roll the lemon.
Look at that.
How about that?
All right.
And then you just, there you go.
Where was she yesterday when I was doing this?
All right, so you're going to mix this up.
Okay.
Come on over here, my little one.
The butter and the milk at this point, right?
Okay, so you're going to put the butter and the milk in there. Let's put the nutmeg in there. Who wants to put that in there?
You got
Put
that?
the nutmeg in there. We're going to put the salt in there. Put all that salt in there. So a tablespoon and a half of salt.
Okay.
Get that
stuck.
stuck in there.
I didn't think there was a lot in there.
There you go.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Then we're going to use, not the yeast yet, we're going to use the sugar.
Sugar.
All right. So what we're making is a sort of a custard base right here. So once the butter melts and all of this happens, we're then going to put in the eggs. Let's put the eggs in now.
There we go. It's looking good. What kind of stock pot are we?
This is a great question. So this is a Dutch oven, and this is actually how you want to make this.
Okay.
So once you go through the recipe and we make the custard, and we go to how we doing with the lemon zest over there, my man?
Smells delicious.
Okay. Let's throw the lemon zest in now.
Okay.
All right.
So if people are like, "There's lemon zest in this cake," yes, there is lemon zest.
So how much of this is going?
We're going to put all of that in there. Boom. Boom, right in the pot.
So 2 lemons worth.
Well, not really. So I like to go a little more of the lemon. It gives it, with all the sugar, it gives a little more taste. So it brings out the taste of the bread.
Oh, okay.
So zest will do that. Lemon acid with sugar brings out way good flavor. Okay. So see how thick it's getting now?
It's getting thick, yeah.
So now what will happen is, once this cooks down and reduces, we literally put in, once that butter is melted, we put in the yeast. Now let's grab the yeast there, little one. So here's the deal. The deal with the yeast is,
I love these
people are afraid of the yeast.
Yes.
Because when you deal with yeast, you have to know the chemistry. And the chemistry was like, remember the science, 50 to 80 degrees on the milk. We don't want that to bloom too fast and blow up. So we want it to come up natural when the yeast opens. Okay? So let's throw the yeast in there, sister. Throw all that in there. Now, we're going to mix that up again.
Okay.
Okay, so now we say, we got the milk going. We're going to turn this off now, because now we're at the right temperature.
Okay.
We're going to let this sit for 5 minutes in your home. And what happens is, the heat from underneath the pan will help the yeast bloom. Scrape the sides down with the yeast. Oh, there you go. Now, when we talk about the Dutch oven, see how thick it's getting now? So when we talk about the Dutch oven, when we cook in this is the gig. Wooden spoon. Once we start adding the 6.5 cups of flour to this, wooden spoon.
Okay.
Because this is a very slack dough. It's very, very stretchy and it's very sticky.
Okay.
So once you do the wooden spoon, because you don't want to use metal because it will not work.
Okay.
Once you do
Good
the
to know.
wooden spoon, you mix it all in little by little. Then you can fold in your raisins.
Okay.
The raisins are the last thing to get folded in.
Last thing, okay.
So then what we do is we put plastic across the top. We put a towel right on top of the plastic, and then this will literally rise this high off of this pan.
In the pan?
In the pan, it will rise this high.
Okay. Wow.
So you let this sit for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. This will rise. We will divide it in between 3 loaf pans like that.
Oh, wow, it makes a lot.
It makes 3. So
Awesome.
you're good, girl, with
Yes.
just one.
Yes.
So then you get these for the family. So they can
Yes,
take
so
them
they
to
can
go.
take it to go.
So you
That's
butter,
how it's
you
gotta be.
gotta grease it.
Okay.
Then we divide up the dough between 3 pans.
There you go.
And then you put it on. Now, here's the beautiful thing about the Dutch oven. Once we get all this made and this thing rises up, the yeast will be stuck to the sides and so will the dough. We only take the dough out of the bottom.
Okay.
The stuff on the sides, then we take this. Powdered sugar.
Oh.
2 cups of powdered sugar.
Okay.
1 cup at a time. You put it in. You roll your hands in there. This is where your hands come in, girl, because I
Okay.
know you like to use your
I
hands.
do, yeah.
So you roll your hands in there. You take it all off the edges, and you make little crumbles.
Oh.
Then you add another cup of powdered sugar. You can add up to 3 cups of powdered
Okay.
sugar.
Wow.
Because we like our powdered
Yes,
sugar.
we do.
We put powdered sugar on everything, don't we?
Yes, we
Exactly. Pierogies,
everything.
kapusta, whatever you have.
Whatever.
So once you do that, then you have it in the pan. Then you sprinkle this on top of the pan.
Okay.
We bake at 350 in the oven in the middle rack for 40 minutes. We pull it. You have to let it settle.
Yes.
1
I
hour
have the
before you
patience,
touch
the whole
that. Do
patience
not
part.
touch the glass.
Don't touch it.
1 hour, let it settle. Cut around the edge, and it'll pop right out. And then we have this.
And then you.
So,
beautiful.
Amanda,
Oh, gosh.
repeat all of those.
Oh my gosh, I know,
Please.
it's complicated, but there's science involved
There's science
with this
involved.
and chemistry, as you mentioned too.
So yeast freaks people out.
Yeah.
And I understand that because if you mess up the yeast,
You don't wanna mess
you're
it
done.
up. It's done.
It will never come up like that. It'll be like
Right.
this. It'll be as flat. So you want to take your time with this recipe, and that's why it's such a good recipe for grandmas.
It
because
is. They've got.
This is something you can cook with the
They put the love and
kids.
the care into
Absolutely.
it. I love that. Okay, so this is how it comes out.
Yeah, let's take it. Let's cut it.
Looks really good.
Cut it up, sister.
And you teach so well.
Thank you very much.
Is this something that you do?
I do a
regular?
class on Facebook called Eats with Ella every
Okay.
Saturday morning at 11:30. We go through, like last week. What did I cook last week? I did buttermilk fried chicken last week. So things that people are afraid of, I like to get them to try. This one over here.
She gave me the biggest.
Pointing towards Diane.
So
I don't need a food.
when
She's
I
hands
like
out.
to cook and teach things, people don't be afraid of it. If you're afraid of it, you'll mess it up. But if you're not afraid of it, just attack it. Attack it, and you'll conquer it. And look at the beautiful bread.
Delicious.
How is it?
Good. Chef Ella, where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Eats with Ella.
Awesome, thank you. There is still, though, more good days still to come.
We'll be right back.